In 1983, the Eastern men's basketball program knew it had one of the best post players in the region in future E-Club Hall of Famer Kevin Barboza. Soon after the arrival of Victor Pereira a year later, it was obvious that the program had landed one of the best point guards in New England. Born in Portugal, Victor combined quick hands and feet, a competitive spirit and winning attitude, and a relentless work ethic, which provided Eastern with the quintessential point guard who would direct the Warriors to 2 ECAC tournament appearances. The 5'6" Pereira never missed a game in his career, answering the bell in all 104 games, starting the final 92. He graduated as the program's all-time leader in assists, a record which still stands 25 years later, as well as in steals, and amassed a remarkable assist-to-turnover ratio of 1-to-2.44. As a junior, Victor was the program's first ever All-Little East Conference selection. He repeated all-conference recognition as a senior, when he also gained distinction as the second-team Division III All-New England selection by the ECAC.
A trip to Plymouth State midway through the 83-84 season without our starting point guard was the impetus to recruit a 5'6", 145-pound point guard from Durfee High School in Fall River, Massachusetts by the name of Victor Pereira. Vic played on what to this day is the best high school basketball team I have ever seen. Durfee was 25-0 and Division I state champions. Their tallest player was 6'4". All 5 starters went on to play collegiate basketball. Vic was the floor general. I probably saw Vic play or practice at least 10 times from mid-season to the state championship game at the DCU Center in Worcester in March. It was time well invested. As a freshman at Eastern, Vic cracked the starting lineup midway through the season. He dished out 109 assists in a mediocre 12-12 season. A season in which we lost 8 games by a total of 16 points. Vic started all 27 games as a sophomore, leading us to our first postseason tournament appearance in 5 years. He had a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, allowed us to press end-line to end-line for 40 minutes, and to break pressure with ease. That 18-9 ECAC semifinalist team was probably my favorite. As a junior, Vic continued to assert himself as one of New England's top Division III point guards. As a senior, Vic led Eastern to its second ECAC postseason tournament appearance in 3 years. He was recognized by being named to the ECAC Division III All-New England team. An impressive feat when you consider he averaged just 8 points a game. I have been a Division I assistant at Ohio State, at Bowling Green State University, and the University of Connecticut. I was a Division III head coach for 15 years. Vic Pereira was the best point guard I have ever coached. His ability to apply constant full-court defensive pressure, his ability to break pressure with ease, his ability to hit the standstill three-pointer from 3 feet beyond the three-point line, and his ability to break defenses down with dribble penetration and find the open man made him a truly outstanding point guard. But what made Vic Pereira a great point guard was his total commitment to the team. He never once was concerned with individual statistics. He never once failed to practice with the same intensity that he played the game with, which was flat out. Never once didn't he use the offseason to improve his body and his skills. I have had only one former student athlete that played 5 years of professional basketball in Europe. I have had only one former student athlete to be inducted into the New England Basketball Hall of Fame. And I've had only one student athlete that has gone on professionally and become the director of athletics at one of the largest high schools in the state of Massachusetts. That student athlete is Vic Pereira.
The first time I saw Vic at the first practice, immediately thought, boy, this guy is small. I don't know if he's going to be able to play college basketball. That thought didn't stay in your mind very long.
The first time I saw Vic play was on a recommendation from Clyde Washburn. I went down to see him and I called switch immediately after the game. After about 1 minute and 30 seconds, he was our guy, great player. I told Dan he was unbelievable athlete, that he's got to be our top priority as a player to get. So the week after, Dan went to see him. He sees me the next day in practice, Switchenko did, and he said, Tony, once again, You've underestimated another player. He's unbelievable. We got to get this kid.
I coached basketball for over 30 years. One of the most important positions is your point guard, and you always worry about, am I going to have a good point guard? Vic, by far, was the best point guard I ever worked with in the 30 years that I coached basketball. And there were some other good point guards too, but to be the best, you had to be able to play defense also. And Vic was also a very, very good defensive player.
The things that make Vic such a great player from day one, and he started for 4 years with us, is his consistency. He's a John Stockton type player. You couldn't press us for 4 years because of Vic.
Vic liked a lot of different sports. Basketball was one of his favorites, but it wasn't his real favorite. He had interest in, I used to see him reading this book all the time, and he loved this book. He carried it with him sometimes. He was very conscientious about going through this, and I think this, by far, was his real favorite sport.
It is my honor at this time to present as a 2013 inductee into the E-Club Hall of Fame, Victor M. Pereira.